Good morning, everybody. My name is Karen, and this is my Flosstube channel, KBH Stitches. This is Flosstube number 8, I believe, coming to you on Tuesday, October 17th already. Yikes. Welcome back. This is my Flosstube channel where I talk about cross stitch, and my Instagram is also KBH Stitches. If you're interested in seeing any pictures of this stuff, go ahead and follow me over there. I have a lot of stuff to show today. Thank you for all the comments on my last video asking how to basically cut the things to put the cross stitches on. I had showed previous finishes and people give me so many ideas about how to finish them, and then I kind of came up against the next roadblock and I got so many suggestions and I went on a finishing binge. So I didn't get to everything, but I got to quite a few things. And I learned a few things along the way, and there's still some more learning to be done. But I love that. That's a happy place for me to be. So, you know, there were some mistakes made, but I'm going to show you kind of what I did and what I learned and some of the supplies we tried. There's a lot of ideas out there, but what I did learn is there are great tutorials out there. So YouTube, Flosstube, look up tutorials. People are so helpful and generous with their ideas and their skills, and it was really fun to do. So you're going to see some of that today. Before I get started, though, I did want to address one thing that's kind of come up in the comments. When I started this Flosstube, I knew that there are people who do not really like when you kind of get into your personal life. And that's okay. I have no problem with that. I knew that wasn't going to be possible for me. If you watch in these videos, I just kind of talk and things come out of my mouth. And I just knew that that was going to probably be a reality for me starting videos. And obviously, I have talked a lot about my son's diagnosis and our trips to Utah to have treatments, and I just need to make this clear. I am well aware that it could be worse and that it is worse for many people. And in no way was I ever trying to equate what we are going through to what anybody else is going through. What we are going through is our own story, and it is hard for us, but that does not diminish how hard I know it could be and is for other people. And so I'm not going to say that I'm not going to talk about Utah because it is part of my life and it's my child, and I don't want to apologize for who I am. Part of doing these videos, part of what was really important to me was that I would be who I am. And so I don't want to apologize for who I am. But please know, I have so much empathy for anybody dealing with the medical system, a medical diagnosis, a prolonged medical, anything. I have much sympathy for anyone dealing with any sort of heartache. And there's a lot to go around right now. So I just wanted to make that clear. I am not going to promise that I will not talk about what we are going through. But please know that I am talking about it in the context of what we are going through. I am not in any way trying to compare. So the other thing that came up in, sorry, here's Fergus. The other thing that came up in the comments, and then I watched Johnny Saxon's video, we kind of bonded over breakdancing. And I was watching his video, and at the very end, he was talking book talk, which I love. And he said that he picked up a book solely because it was compared to The Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, and The Neverending Story. And so I was just like, once again, you know, here we go. And it reminded me that I had stitched this. And so, Johnny, I just wanted to show you. This piece is from The Little Stitcher on Etsy, I'm pretty sure. But it's The Neverending Story. Ah! And there's our tags. Who then there was like, is it a reel? I don't know if it's called a reel. about the trauma of 80s kids and Artax. But anyway, what does that say? Never give up and good luck will find you. And there's Falcor down there. So anyway, this was in a different box. So I found another box of finished things. Oops. So now I get to figure out what to do with this. Again, I don't know. I have more tools at my toolbox now. So, but anyway, I wanted to just show that. It was a very fun stitch, and I stitched it a long time ago. She has some other ones. Oh, I believe there's a labyrinth one. I don't think there's a dark crystal one, but she has some other ones. So I believe it's the Little Stitcher. I'll put it below. So anyway, thank you again for all the comments. I love the comments on the videos. It's so fun. It's such a great connection. And so if you have any questions, anything to ask, I love the comments. So go ahead and put the stuff in there. Okay, so fully finished items. I went crazy. So first things first, I believe did I show these? I don't remember if I showed these, but I had these DMCs. I did, because I asked about cutting it out and cutting it out. So what I ended up doing, and I think I showed you I had found this sticky, scrapbooking paper. Okay. And so it's like a big sticker. And I finished both of these. I cut them out, then I stuck them, then I cut the paper out. And the paper is cute, right? But it does not stick. So you can see that. It doesn't stick flat. Those, you use 3 strands. I think I only use 2, but I think it's called for 3. So the back is rather bulky. And so these are just going to be on my tree, but you can tell that eventually these are going to get caught. And I don't know how sticky it is. So I imagine at some point I'll have to replace that backing. So I then had this hamburger to finish. And I went and bought some sticky felt. So same thing, it's a big sticker, but this is felt. You can kind of see that. And this sticks to the back much better. You can see. It forms more. Okay, so the thing about this was, if anybody has any hints, I cut out the burger and then I stuck it and then I cut out the felt. And the felt was very sticky onto my scissors. And so it kind of got ripped in a few spots. I don't know if you can see that, but so I don't know if I should have stuck it first and cut them together to kind of give the paper, my scissors would have hit, then my scissors would have hit the dry felt and the paper. So that may have been a better idea. So I very highly recommend the sticky felt. Obviously you could glue it on, but I was a little worried it would come through those holes. So that's what I did. So 3 ornaments done. Then you will remember, this is where it gets exciting. This piece, and To All a Good Night, I did the big piece. And when I took it out, I thought, oh, I bet I could fit that in a frame. And then I found this dollar spot at Target. I bought this sled last year. So I know somebody said they had gone and looked for it and it wasn't there. I got it last year. So look, when the Christmas stuff comes out. But what I did was I cut out a piece of foam core. I did hot glue gun. It was fast and easy. I'll tell you why I have a problem with it later. And then I did a little bow and a little wreath. And it's on there. So, So see, it's a little sled. You can see that? So I put the little bow with, I don't know where I had that from. I save all the bows from like boxes and stuff. And that little wreath I got at Michael's. And I got it on there. So you can see I'll tell you how I cut the foam core. I'll tell you how I cut that. And hot glue gunning is easy. Corners are hard. I have some work to learn on how to do corners better. But if you're going to come to my house at Christmas and talk about my corners, then we have bigger fish to fry. Anyway, I love it. I love it. And that means it's going to be out this Christmas. So then I was hot. So you'll remember I had harvest time is what the whole chart is. This is like on the green or something. I don't know what it's called. And I was so glad I had this out because farm girl, dry goods, farm girl dry goods. There we go. She stitched just this big turkey and he's awesome. So I'm going to do that too. So now I have it out. It's going back into the start pile. But I had done this piece and I did kind of the same thing. I found this pumpkin also at the dollar spot. And foam core, glue gun. This is where I learned that the size of your ribbon matters, but it's okay. So it's on a little pumpkin. Again, it's a dollar spot thing. And then I did this bow. I wish this ribbon had been thicker. It's okay. And I bought this little thing also at Michael's. And so this is actually out in my hutch right now. I wish I had gone a little bit tighter. This is one thing that happened. I cut the board to the pumpkin and I should have cut it to the piece. But you live and you learn. So that is out. We're going to smile. That's out in my display right now. And then this is where I messed up. So one thing that I figured out about foam core, and people had talked to me about trying sticky board. And I ordered some, but it wasn't here yet. So we'll get to that in just a second. But it shifts a bit, which is why lacing is probably the better option. Because if I had laced them, I could have adjusted later. So I think coming out of this, what I learned is that I think I will like lacing on foam core best. But that remains to be seen. So my 5 o'clock somewhere from Ink Circles, my husband is going to cut out a martini glass shape that we're going to stick this on. But as you can see, while I was gluing, I shifted and I didn't notice it. And so it is hot glued to this and it's not coming off. And it's okay. It's just a mistake and life is like that. But I imagine if you use sticky board, it doesn't shift. So I got a lot of recommendations for sticky board and matte board. Again, I had bought foam core, so that's what I used mostly. But I can see why sticky board would be helpful in not letting that shift while you're doing the backside. But listen, it is what it is. So this one, we're going to try and fully finish and hang up in this room. This room is half my sewing machine and half his office. And we call it the party room because that's as party as we get. But so we're going to hang that up in here. All right, so then I moved back to pillows. And while I was going through, I knew I had one project that I wanted to make into pillows. And when I was finding it, I found this project that I had forgotten about. This is Penny Autumn by Plum Street Samplers. And I stitched this, I don't know, probably a year ago. It's not as old as some of the others, but it's obviously its season. And so I got that all finished into a pillow. Just some, you know, fall-like, not fall-like, just fall colors. And I love this yellow picks up these flowers and these, because this penny border is just too good. And I love how that picks that up. So that got added to the fall decor. And then this was the project I had originally gone, I have plans to make these into pillows. This is Birds and Berries from Prairie Schooler. I stitched these during COVID and I loved stitching these. They're so fun. And they're, again, pretty birds, Sal. If you have this one, get those pretty birds going. They're just a perfect size. They took about 4 days each. I did them on 36 count vintage country mocha with DMC, the called for DMCs. And I finished them in this box I got at Michael's. So they're all in there. So I haven't worked out quite how you, yeah, I don't know if you put like little foliage or something in there to kind of plump everybody up, but this box was just a box for Michael's tray. And it's originally $13, but it's in the fall stuff. So that was 60% off this weekend. So, and I don't know, you could totally paint it a darker color. I don't know if I'm that brave, but anyway, I'll just show you real quick. Here's the cardinal. And they all have the same backing and the same edging. And I don't know what it was this time with my stuffing. My corners are sad. I don't know. You guys, is this an Oriole? I don't know. Don't yell at me about the birds. I don't know. I know that this is a blue jay. I love that one. We get blue jays who get so mad at our dog in the backyard and chase him. And it's hilarious. So I love a blue jay. I don't know. Are you a swallow? I don't know. But these berries, guys. And I kind of winter holidayed these up, but you certainly wouldn't have to. You could put whatever you want on the back and make them summer birds or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so these are all in this thing, and I'll show you in my plans. I have plans for, like I said, these are kind of going to be the winter fill for this. I have plans for a fall fill. So that's coming in my plans. And then the next project I finished, this is Pomegranate Santa by Plum Street Samplers. I did not stitch these deer down here. There. And I finished him into a pillow as well. And what I did the same backing fabric because I thought maybe during Christmas, like, he could join the birds. I have to work on that, but you get what I mean. And so this one, when I was sewing this one, I was like, these are my best corners I've ever sewn. They don't look great now because again, my stuffing in my corners was a little bit weird this time. But anyway, so I didn't put a siding, isn't the word. Whatever this is that you call it. I have it picked out. It's this green chenille. So it would be, Karen, it would be really pretty. It's just this green chenille. So tell me what you think. Do I leave it? I know these are my best sewn corners, but I don't know that they're giving their best foot forward. But do I leave it? One vote I have. Let me see if I can kind of show you this. If I could find, what? I can never find the end of yarn. Is there a trick to that? If there's a trick, shout her out. The one thing, so see these white snowflakes right here. That's my one call to do this, because I feel like they get lost. I don't know how to explain, but see how they pop a little bit more if you have that trim on there? Trim! That's what it is. It would pop those out a little bit more because they get a little lost. But also, I don't care if stuff gets lost. That doesn't bother me at all. So, give me your vote. Do we trim? Do we not trim? That is the question. This also is like a pretty big pillow. But I had always planned to do it as a pillow, so it ended up in the pillow pile. All right, and then this is my last finish. Fully finished, sorry. This is Madame Chantilly's Hen Cooking. She was at the bottom of my box. And finished her. So this I got at Michael's. This was not in the fall stuff. This was in kitchen or something. I don't know. There were a lot of like bread boxes and things, that section. And I just put, again, hot glued to foam core. And then I took this, what is that called? Homespun. And I just kind of ripped pieces of it. You can see I didn't do it very well, but I just ripped pieces of it and hot glued those to the back. And then I hot glued the whole thing to the basket. And I love it. It's me cooking for my chick. So yay! I had a great finishing streak there. So yay. And I'm very happy with this one. We hung this up where we have like in our kitchen, we have a little dining table, like a, breakfast nook or whatever. And it's hung up there because that's where we eat. And so anyway, thank you all. I love doing that. It just, it's so invigorating and it's so fun to see your stuff every day. So if you have any, more suggestions, certainly let me know. I did want to say just kind of the main things that came up were to use a fabric cutter with your quilting rulers on your quilting thing. I haven't tried that yet because I was cutting foam core, but I bought one that will just be for paper. Also, a little more scary to me, but that's okay. This is a box cutter. People said to use it with just a straight edge ruler over cardboard so you don't like cut into your floor or something. So haven't been brave enough, but have it. But the piece de resistance, the thing that really helped me is this is a Westcott, it's a guillotine cutter. Okay, so that big thing comes up and it cuts down. I'm going to say this first. It came with like a protective thing there that you should leave there. However, foam core, it just fit and we pushed it a little bit and it popped off. So for like sticky board or mat board, I can imagine this with the protector that you should keep, please. Perfect. It popped off and it's great for foam core, but I didn't tell you that. So anyway, but what was great for me up here is there's a ruler up here and you can see this little lip, right? So whatever you were cutting, Goes right up against that. And so for me, like I said, I used foam core. This came in a pack of 4 from Michaels, $8. Pretty cheap, easy to cut with the cutter. Like I said, it has a little thickness to it. So I think if you were lacing, you could pin your stuff. I guess I could have pinned my stuff before I hot glue gunned it, but I was going too fast and I didn't think of that until right now. But anyway, that's what I used entirely. A lot of recommendations for sticky boards. So I bought some. You can find it, Fat Quarter Shop had it, Amazon had it, and this company had it. I ordered it with an Amazon order. I think that was more expensive than either of the other 2 options, but Amazon kind of goes back and forth. But this would cut easily with the guillotine cutter for sure. And from what people tell me with the other 2 things I showed you. So sticky board. And then this was, this is the one that got us. So a lot of people said mat board, right? And I was like, well, that makes the most sense. Well, let me know if you can find it any way smaller than this. I bought this at Michael's, $8. It's real big. And so I'm going to have to do some cutting before I get to the guillotine cutter. So maybe the box cutter on cardboard to get it down to more manageable sizes. I don't know, haven't been there yet. But one person did tell me that at Michael's, you can go to the framing part and they will cut that to any size you want. Now, I stood there for 10 minutes and nobody would help me. So we just bought the big thing and we'll see what happens. But obviously, if you go in and say, I need a, here's my big piece. Can you cut a piece this size? That's genius. That would have it all done for you. Then the last thing, because we were trying to find mat board in a smaller size, we found this. It's an art board, but it's definitely thicker. So I don't know. It's like very thick. So I don't know if the cutter will cut that easily. I haven't tried it yet, but I will let you know. So that was just our kind of compromise to see if we could find something smaller than the mat board. So that's the cutting. Thank you so much for your suggestions. I feel so much more capable and proud of what I've done. And that is always just the best news. So, okay. On to whips. All right. So we were finishing out Sampler September. And I was working on, Thurza Goes Goth. Again, I'm up in a bedroom and there's a window across from me and there's a light above me and it just doesn't love my iPad. But you get the idea. And I am doing Thurza on 40 count moccasin from Fortnite Fabrics. And I believe I just got a little touch more done. So my Sampler September kind of went out with a whimper, but that's okay. I got 2 beautiful projects started that I am very pleased with. And nothing wrong with that. The other kind of pullover from September that's going to be a pullover forever is my 24/7. I didn't bring the chart up, sorry. Peacock, Unicorn, and a Badger by Scarlet Letter. And I have just continued. I think I had the peacock just body outlined. There is a lot more counting in this part than has been. So there's like 4 outlines here. So I just kept doing those. And then I got all these dots in. And then I came back and I filled in here. I missed some pink stitches in there. All right. So now I'm filling it up here. then filling in a wing, then I was filling up here, filling in a wing. So I'm just going to keep filling the body in, fill in all here, and then I'm going to come back down here. There's a leaf and some acorns, and then I'm going to move down here, so I can get to his tail, and then move that way. I'm going to ease on down the road out that way. So this is my 25/7 project. The first thing I do in the morning, I pull this over, work on it for 25 minutes. I set the timer on my phone. As soon as it's done, I just bloop, put it away, and then I work on whatever whip I decide to. But I'm very pleased with how that is going. It was a little slower this month. This time, I was gone for a week again, so. But this was another sampler September, but this is staying with me. I'm continuing the 25/7 from here on out, as far as I know. You know, anything can happen, but it won't. Then on October 1st, I started a Witchy Stitcher design for Witchy Stitcher Day. I saw a lot of Witchy Stitcher stuff, and it was really heartwarming, and that was fun to see. And this also counted as our Black Cat Sal, myself, Christina at Petals and Pins, and Wanda at Wanda's Stitching Kitchen. Every October for the last, few years, have started a project together, and ours this year was Witchy Stitcher's Hello Kitty Surprise. And I busted it out. Look at him! Isn't that wonderful? Look at those colors. It's so good. The detail in this little piece, wow. This is 22 count. I think it's called Hardanger. You know what? I have some of it right here. This is 22 count. It says Ada. This is Loops and Threads. This is the Michaels brand. I think it's $7, and you can use the 30% off on it. And it's a big piece. It's 15 by 18. But anyway, what I'm going to do with it now, I have some antiquing spray that I, again, forgot to bring down. It's up there. And I'm going to take this, and I'm going to spray it. So I'm going to cut them out to whatever I'm going to do. And then I'm going to spray it all so that it looks not just old, but like grungy. And probably just make into a pillow. I'm interested to make a pillow on Ada because you're going to have to be much more careful about your lines. You know, your sewing lines, because there's literal lines that you can see. You can see them. So that'll be another new trick for me. But I loved this. This was so fun. And he is full coverage in there. Here's my back. I don't care about the backs. I don't know why that's a thing, but that's okay. So anyway, that was Witchy Stitcher Day and Black Cat Sal. I got that finished the day before. I got that finished on October 10th, which was the day before I planned to start. Whoops. Sorry. Eddie and Patsy by Maximum Cross Stitch. This I started the day before we went back to Utah because I wanted a good project on 36 count. I hate that. Good project on 36 count, and I hashtagged it Pretty Bird Sal, and I encourage anybody stitching any bird to hashtag Pretty Bird Sal. And I will say, when I talked about this last time, the chart is called Eddie and Patsy, but I said Edie and Patsy because the second I saw the chart, I thought of these two. This is Edie and Patsy from Absolutely Fabulous. And I love this program, and they are two wild and crazy women, and I see them in these beautiful parrots. So mine is kind of low-key Edie and Patsy. But the chart is Eddie and Patsy. And So I took that to Utah in my Bitsy Go. I got my new Lego guy. We had to go to the Lego store. Actually, I'll tell that now. So we went to Utah, and we also, I'll tell that in a minute. Like I said, we get there, we try to do something fun the first day. We have surgery on Friday. We fly home on Saturday. So he went in for surgery, and we hadn't gone in 2 months. So it was a little like, what are you going to find? You know, is it bleeding again? Is it, you know, there could have been different outcomes. But instead, the outcome that we got, which we were hoping to find out how many more times we were going to have to do this, and we don't know that yet. But what we do know is that we do not have to go back until February or March, which means we get to enjoy the holidays, not worry about snow. My son is only going to miss school one more time this year for this. And it just feels like a chance to kind of get our feet back under us. It was completely unexpected. That was not what we were thinking we were going to hear. And so I don't even think it's hit me yet. I know yesterday I went to email the nurse about a new appointment, and I thought, oh, well, I can't even do that. And so I'll be honest, there's kind of this weirdness of like, what am I supposed to do now? But because of that, my son was like, can we please go to the Lego store one last time? And he wanted this little set of Star Wars figures. And so we did go, and I got my an additional Lego guy, cactus guy, to go with my hot dogs and everything. And this is my start. Oh, we're gonna need a piece of paper. On Eddie and Patsy. Look how beautiful that is. Now this pattern is the called for our Roxy Flosstube flosses, and I really wanted to use those, but number one, it just wasn't in the budget, and number two, time-wise. So I did the DMC, and I am thrilled with it. I think the Roxy Flosstube, I'm dying to try Roxy Flosstube. I really am. So I'm hoping that opportunity comes up, but I am very, very happy with the DMC in this. And so the other thing that happened was on our day when we got to Utah, we went to the aquarium. And look who we ran into. Look at that handsome guy. That is absolutely Eddie. I mean, look. Can I do that so that you can see them both? Isn't that amazing? It was so meant to be. It was like, I was just stitching you on the airplane, mister. Isn't that great? So it felt very like Kismetty and meant to be. So that I started on October 11th, and I'm going to keep on working on this. Pretty Bird Sal, please, you're welcome to join me. Any sort of anything. The birds, berries, and birds. You're going to see, see, I knew I forgot some haul. It's okay. Any sort of bird, please hashtag them Pretty Bird, because look at that guy. I love it. So I'm going to keep coming down here. There's like a branch. And then Patsy, who looks like my needle minder, will be over here. So that was my new start, and I'm going to continue working on that. And then my project for my stitch group on Thursdays, my little foxes and squirrels. I got a bit done not last Thursday. I didn't go last Thursday. We were in Utah, but then I went the week before, and I got a fox, bloop, a fox done. Isn't that cute? This is ecru, and it's a little bit in the flowers on the top too, and it's washing out a bit, but don't care. It works. So excited. I get to go back to that group on Thursday, and it was so fun. So I was in Salt Lake City when Stitch West was going on. Oh, so close, yet so far. However, one of my ladies in my Stitch group was there. And so I hope she had the best time, and I can't wait to hear about it. And who knows, maybe I'll actually make my way to Stitch West at some point. That would be very fun. That would be very exciting. Okay, haul. I don't have very much haul. Just, ooh. We're good. I got this at Michael's. It was in the Christmas stuff. It's a little tray of Christmas cookies. So I think I'm going to throw a magnet on there and make it a needle minder. I think it'll work. It's not very thick. So I think, you know, put a magnet in there. Little Christmas cookie needle minder. And then I got this project bag from Kathy's Posies on Etsy. I think I said before that when we moved to Reno, my son was 5. And I think that year we went to our first Nutcracker. There's like a local company who does the Nutcracker here. And so it's just become a very good memory for us. And this is the other part. I need your help. Does anybody know who this artist is? Because I know I had a storybook. It wasn't the Nutcracker, but I know I have a storybook illustrated by this artist. So if anybody knows, let me know. But so that's a new project bag. You guys, I need to stop buying project bags. It's silly. But I bought one other one. This is from Joanna 1966 on Etsy. And look, it's going to be for my pretty bird, Sal. Now that we're home, this is going to be for all. So my plan is I'll probably stitch Eddie and Patsy to completion. My next piece of haul will be the next to house in here. And this is just going to constantly have a pretty bird. And again, hashtag pretty bird Sal, just join in. Which, by the way, why would Instagram ruin following hashtags? Isn't that the whole point? I don't get it. So if for some reason I purposely like try to find the hashtag, if for some reason I miss you, it's not personal. I don't understand why they've messed up that. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard of. That was the whole point, I thought. Anyway, if you have a trick as to how to actually get them to come up, I go to the hashtag and I look through everything and make sure I've seen everything. And that's the only way to do it. Which doesn't seem right. Anyway, that's my other piece of haul. And then, well, this is my last piece of haul. So I was watching Joan Hoops It Up. And she showed this chart completed. Okay, so this is it in here, like as a completed thing? There are 3 parts to it. Well, that shows the beginning of it. So it's summer, autumn, and winter, and you do them all together. It has this alphabet that goes all the way across, okay? However, I saw this autumn part, and I went, well, that's not the prettiest bird. No, I'm not trying to be offensive. It's not pretty bird, Sal. Okay, that's a pretty bird. This is not the prettiest bird, but I love it because of that. Okay? And so I was just like, I have to. So this is going to be my next pretty bird, Sal. As soon as I finish that, I'm going to start this. And I am doing it like this. I'm doing just this section. I'm doing just this part of the alphabet, which I had to, that was one question I had. This, yeah, I'm doing just, and I just imagined it framed with this partial alphabet. I love that. I get that it's weird. That's okay. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this part. I probably will cut off the G, do the H through the M, come down here, just put 2 initials, the XYZ. And I want to like, I don't know if I'll frame it or whatever, but whatever it does, just up close. That's my plan. Hopefully it'll go to plan. It'll go close enough to plan. Doesn't matter. This is a book. It's Blackbird Designs, Loose Feathers Autumn. And look at, I just saw that. I didn't even know I bought that. Pretty bird sale. Okay, I'll stop. But anyway, so I got that. I got a piece of 36 count Winter Moon. That's washing out, but it's basically kind of a buttery white. It doesn't have any modeling or anything. It's very basic. I figured if I'm going to have this kind of intense stitching, I didn't want anything behind it. And then I bought just the floss for it. I also bought this Raven to do that other Blackbird pattern that's like 3 pumpkins and it's like black, a little pin pillow. So I got the floss for that too. So that's the end of my haul. And this is going to be my next Pretty Bird Sal. And then the rest of my plans, I'm going to finish. I'm going to keep working on Eddie and Patsy. And then I brought this out last time and showed you guys, so I'll just show them again. But for the Black Cat Sal, I want to continue and work on Snarky Cat. I want to get a little more work in October on a black cat, just because it'll be fun. The Black Cat Sal goes on forever, but I just want to get some work in on October. Like I said, I'm on the big pumpkin down here, so I would like to, I won't get anywhere near to finishing him, but I do want to work on that a little bit. And then finally, I said that the bird box that I have my birds and berries in, this is my plan for my fall fillers. So this is Prairie Schoolers Acorns. And I am going to finish these like this as acorns, and then they will fill that bowl in the fall. So I'm stitching this as called for, and it's called for on a 32 count, but I'm only doing 1 thread. I really just hate stitching with 2 threads, and I kind of like the thin look. So I have finished the pumpkin and the pretty bird. Sorry. And I finished this, I don't know, leaf kaleidoscope. And now I am working on the squirrel, this one in the middle. I plan on doing all 6. I got a piece of fabric for all 6. So that's going to come up probably not till November, but I thought that would be nice kind of Thanksgiving fall-y stitching after my Black Cat Sal. So a little more work on Black Cat in October, and then I'm going to come back to this. And November is my birthday month, and I started last year. It's not called Turkey Hollow. It's a Stacy Nash. I don't remember what it's called, but it says Turkey Hollow across the top, and it's like a farm. That I started last year for my birthday, as well as, what was that one called? Tom Turkey. I'm just going to show you real quick here. This one. Shoot. from Not Forgotten Farm. Tom Turkey, I think. So those are in my turkey bag. That's kind of always my birthday. I try to stitch on something like that over the Thanksgiving holiday, but I'll be back before Thanksgiving. Again, thank you so much for all of the help with how to cut and best ways to cut. I am so happy that some of these things are getting their due, and they're really fun to stitch and to see out. And also it reminds me of this community, which I couldn't be more grateful for. Again, the comments are wonderful. Thank you for those who watch these videos. It's really fun to share and to kind of just be a part of it, whether it's in real life or not. So if you have any questions, please do let me know. And I will be back at some point and we'll do it again. All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.